Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions and welcome to your grade 10 analytical geometry. Today we're looking at midpoint of a line, and at the end of this video you should be able to derive this formula and to also apply it. So without any waste of time, the scope of this video, first, we're going to look at deriving the midpoint formula. And then we will conclude this video with worked examples, maybe one or two, but we will see. And I have a feeling that this will be the shortest video in this series of analytical geometry. Okay, so without any waste of time, let's get into it. So item 1, let me use a black color. Item 1, we deriving, oh boy, what's happening? Okay, cool. We deriving the midpoint formula. So we are deriving the midpoint formula. Yeah. All right. Now, I want you to imagine, let me say, given 2 points, I'm going to say given 2 points, those points are A with coordinate x sub 1, y with coordinate, y sub 1 as well, x sub 1 and y sub 1, and B with coordinates x sub 2 and y sub 2. Determine the midpoint. Determine the midpoint. Okay, determine the midpoint. So we're going to say, first, let's highlight a midpoint. What is a midpoint? Let's highlight midpoint. What is a midpoint? So what did we say? So we need to highlight this part here. What is a midpoint? So when we talk of a midpoint, we're talking of a central point, right? This is a central point. Okay? This is a central point, a point in the center, right? So this means it divides a line into 2 equal halves, isn't it? It divides the line into 2 equal halves. Get it? So it divides line into 2 equal halves. Okay. So it divides a line into 2 equal halves, right? Into 2 equal halves, right? So this is what a midpoint does. So remember, I said you are given 2 points, A and B, and then you need to define the midpoint. It's defined as capital M. Okay, it's defined as capital M. So now let's try a midpoint of, you can find a midpoint, guys, in between any line whatsoever. As long as it's a straight line, you can find a midpoint. So it doesn't matter the gradient. Okay, so this is point B with coordinates x2 and x1. Sorry, y2. x2 and y2. So we are looking for the midpoint. Let's call it M. So far, we do not know its coordinates. We will call them x and y. Okay, so far, we do not know the coordinates of the midpoint. So what we are saying, I want you to see this. We said the midpoint is the central point between the 2 points here, right? So what we are saying the distance AM, okay? Distance AM is basically equal to distance MB. Do you guys get that? It is basically equal to distance. Right. So now in deriving our midpoint, let us now focus on, I'm going to talk horizontal distance. Okay, I'm going to talk horizontal distance. Okay, I'm going to talk horizontal distance. So let's begin horizontal distance. Remember, when we talk horizontal distance, we're talking values of x, right? So we're going to look at horizontal distance. So what we are saying, remember, we said AM is equal to MB, right? So AM, let's look at each horizontal distance. Horizontal distance will be AM, so it will be x minus x sub 1. What is MB? It will be x2. It will be x2 minus x, isn't it? Now, when you look at it, this x is negative, so this therefore is 2x equals x sub 2 minus x sub 1, right? Now, we are looking for the value of x. Going to the next page, it'll be x equals x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2, right? So this is how you get the central. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be plus. It's supposed to be plus, not minus. Can you see that? This x value is negative here, so when it goes to the other side, it will be positive. So it's supposed to be plus, right? So this gives you the middle x value, right? It gives you the middle x value of this line. Okay, now let's look for the vertical distance. Remember, when we talk vertical distance, we're looking at the values of y, right? We're looking now at the vertical distance. Again, we said AM is equal to MB, right? So looking at the vertical distance, it'll be y minus y sub 1, isn't it? Y minus y sub 1 is equal to y sub 2 minus y, isn't it? Let's look at it. Y sub 2 minus y, isn't it? That is the vertical distance, right? So now we are going to say, oh, this is 2y equals y sub 1 plus y sub 2, right? Therefore, we can say, oh, y is therefore y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So this is the central y value between the 2 points. This is how you find it. So as you can see, you found the central x value and the central y value. X and y values, they are coordinates which are therefore giving rise to your midpoint. Therefore, midpoint with coordinates x and y can be found by saying find sum of the two outwards values divided by 2, which is what we call the average. So, sorry, and then y sub 1 plus y sub 2, of course, this looks like an average, right? So basically, midpoint formula is x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2 and y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. These will give you the coordinates of your midpoint. Okay, this formula here will give you the coordinates of your midpoint. Okay, it will give you the coordinates of your midpoint. So we are now going to try an example. Okay, we are now going to try an example. So number 2, worked examples. I think I should try one example. So worked examples, I'm going to try one, to be honest. So example 1, I'm going to say calculate the midpoint of point 4 minus 1 and point minus 1 and 3, right? So our solution, let me change the color. So our solution, you remember the midpoint formula that we used. For now, we will call it capital M, right? We will call it capital M, of course, with coordinates x and y, is equal to, it is equal to open bracket x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2 and y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2, close. So we're going to call this point the second point. This one, we're going to call it the first point. So what is x sub 1? It is 4. What is x sub 2, it is minus 1 all over 2. Now, what is y sub 1? Y sub 1 is minus 1. What is y sub 2? Y sub 2 is 3 all over 2. You guys have calculators, so what is your answer? Your answer is 4 minus 1 is 3, so this is 3 over 2. And then minus 1 plus 2, or minus 1 plus 3 is 2. So this is 2 over 2. Your answer here is 1. So the midpoint between these 2 points is root 3 over 2 and 1. 2 over 3, guys, is what? Is 1,5. But let me also show you this using a graph. Okay, we're going to try to plot this so that we can really see if this is indeed the midpoint. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's try it. So I'm gonna use a grid and let me draw a line. We needed 4. Okay, 4 and 4. Okay, and then y value, the highest is, what is the highest y value? It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 0 must come here. Okay. So the highest y value was 3. It's okay. The highest x value is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, negative, 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 0. Right? So one of the point was 4 and minus 1. Where is it? 4 and minus 1. Here is it. 4 and minus 1. And the other point was minus 1 and 3. Minus 1 and 3. Here is it. Right? Let me join these points. I'm going to use a different color. Let me join these points. I'm going to use a different color. Okay. No. Go back, sir. I'm going to use a different color. As I join them. All right. Okay. I think this is fine. So maybe let me try to move from better. Yep. So now I want us to see if really when you look at the points that we got, if we will really get the points that we really got there. So let's see. So as you move from left to right, so let me see, from 1 to 4, right? From 1 to 4, negative 1 to 4, where's the midpoint? 1 step. Okay, this is 1 step, 2 steps. Let's see, you are here, right? So it's 1 step, 2 step, right? So you need to move and half. So this is 2 and half, all right? And this is also 2 and half. All right, this is also 2 and half. So let's look at this point. What is this point? Look at it. Look at this point. Look at it. Look at it. What is it? This is, what is it? It's 1,5. Can you guys see that? It's 1,5. Right. Now let me focus on the y values. So on the y values, I'm going to try to move from this point here. It will be 1. And then let me also try to move 1. And then I'm going to try to move 2. And I'm going to try to move 2. Oh, wow. So this, I'm going to draw broken lines. So to show this. Oh, wow. Can you guys see this? So what is this? This is our midpoint. All right. This is our midpoint. And look at it. X value is 1.5, which is 3 over 2. What is y value? Y value is 1. Right? Can you see? Y value is 1. Isn't this what we got? Indeed, this is what we got. So you see, graphically, you see, graphically, we were also able to confirm what we got using algebra. Okay, so now guys, this is the beauty of it. Okay, this is the beauty of it. So instead of doing this, you have a formula that works. So if you were doubting this formula, now you know that it's working. Okay, perfect. So the beauty of this is why you're doing mathematics, to simplify how you calculate or how you solve problems. Okay, that is the beauty of mathematics. Right, guys, with that being said, ours ends here. And before we conclude, I want to remind you, if you want to get in touch with us, you can visit our website, www.aramtasolutions.co.za. And again, on this website, you can also get a link to our email. You can get our email address there. You can, when you see this envelope, you can click on it. It'll open your mailbox and you can send us an email if you would like to talk to us. And you can follow us on your favorite social media channels. And of course, do not forget to subscribe and share the channel with your friends and your classmates. Okay, so with that being said, ours ends here. And I think I need to mention, guys, you can find a midpoint of every line. Okay, you can find a midpoint of every line using this formula. All right, every straight line. Let me put it like that. Every straight line. All right. All right. So, so ours ends here, and then I will see you next time. And this is the end of our lessons on grade 10 analytical geometry. I'll see you next year with grade 11 analytical geometry. And of course, you will be getting past papers as well. There will be past paper videos. So let me not talk too much and leave you here. So with that being said, bye.